Hello everyone, this is the second video in Game Lab series. In first video, I had already explained about how does Game Lab looks like and what are the features, what are the benefits, why do I like Game Lab. Basically, why do I like Game Lab is because I found it near to the text-based programming languages. Okay, the way the syntax etc are used in Java, it is very much similar. So actually it is a very good platform for the kids to move on to text-based programming. The kids who wants to move on from block programming to text-based programming, Game Lab is an excellent tool. You can use both the features, block-based as well as text-based. Initially use block-based feature and then you can jump on to text-based as well. So because this being the first video, we will understand a couple of very basic things about Game Lab, but in spite of being it basic, we will actually create something interesting here as well. So let's get started. Now you will already have a code.org account. If you do not have code.org account, you want to know how to create it, here is the video link, you can refer it. So I already have a code.org account. I have logged into it and I am clicking on this create Game Lab. By clicking on this, you will launch the Game Lab environment. Okay, so by default, this method comes, you can remove it. As I had already mentioned in my previous video, but let me reiterate, this is the toolbox. This is the area from where you can pick the various functions. This is the workspace where your code is written, and this is the area where you will see the output. So before actually starting writing the code, it is very important that we understand the coordinates here. Okay, what are the coordinates here? How does the positioning works, etc. In Sprite Lab, my 0, 0 coordinate starts from the left bottom. Okay. Start from the left bottom. So this is 0, 0 here. As you can see, this is 0, 0. And as we go towards right hand side, or as we go horizontally, this is the x-axis which increases. And if we go above, that is vertically, it means my y-axis coordinates will increase. This is how we have already seen it in Sprite Lab and Artist Lab. But these coordinates are a little different in Game Lab. In Game Lab, the topmost corner, okay, the topmost corner is 0, 0. So this corner is 0, 0 here, okay. It is same when you move towards right hand side or horizontally, you will see the x coordinates. And when you move downwards, you will see the y coordinates. So the very basic difference, if you could understand this 0, 0 coordinates, you will basically be able to understand the Game Lab coordinates as well. So this is 0, 0, 400, 0, 400, 400, 0, and 400. Let's see this in Game Lab now. Okay, so we are here in Game Lab coordinates. Okay, so you can see here also it is clearly mentioned. This is 0, 0. Once you click on the show grid, it will also show you the coordinates. It says this is 0, 0. This is 0, 400. So it means x is not changing. Only y is changing as you go down. Okay, and as you go towards right, only x is changing. Y is not changing. Middle is still 200, 200. Okay, so this is how first you will have to understand and be comfortable with Game Lab coordinates. Now, what we will do? We will understand a couple of the basic functions in Game Lab. Small kids who wants to still use the block programming, they should go to the drawing and they should use this function RECT. Okay, we use this function to create a rectangle. We use this function to create a rectangle. Okay. What is the meaning of these 4 input here? This is how this command looks like. RECT, and it is taking 4 parameters. So let's try to understand what are these 4 parameters, what do they do, okay, and what are their significance. So first parameter where we are passing this 100. This actually mention the x coordinate. X coordinate of the topmost position top leftmost position of the rectangle. Then the second input parameter is the y coordinate. Third input parameter is the width of the rectangle. And the fourth parameter is the length of the rectangle. Okay. Okay, fine. This is how this works. So now let's go back to GameLab and try to understand. We are saying rectangle 100, 100, 200, 200. It means create a rectangle at 100 and 100 position. Where do we have 100 and 100 position? 100 and 100 position is somewhere here. Okay, it is somewhere here. So my top left corner of the rectangle will be created here. And from here onwards, it will create a rectangle of 200 and 200 size. So let's run this code and see. Yes, this is the topmost corner, 100, 100. From here, the rectangle is being created. Okay, and the width is 200 and the length is 200. Let's change the width and length. And if we change the width and length, we can create the rectangle. Otherwise, if both are same, it will be a square shape. Okay, so by default, we can see a gray rectangle has been created, right? And the boundaries are black. There is a way to change it. How do we change it? Again, we can use the function fill. Okay, use the function fill, and inside it, you can actually give a name of the any color. By name of the any color, you can simply type red, and it will become a red rectangle for you. Let me reset and run it. Yeah, it becomes a red rectangle. Okay, we can also uncheck on the show grid so that we can see how actually it is coming up. You can see the boundaries. The boundaries are actually black in color. We can change that as well. So for this is the command we can use is a stroke. This is actually the stroke which defines the boundary. So we can say stroke color. For example, if I want the stroke color to be yellow, I can mention the stroke color to be yellow. Yes, so here my stroke color is yellow. Let's make it maybe green. It will become green. My stroke color will be green. Okay. If we want that a stroke size to be a little thin or thick, we can change this also. For this, we have this method or function stroke weight. There you can define the stroke weight, basically how much thick and thin you want your strokes to be. So I made it 5. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is very important function if somebody wants to understand the drawing in GameLab. Another important function which we will understand now is ellipse. Everybody, all the smaller kids who wants to use this still as a block-based programming can anytime go to this drawing toolbox and pick your blocks from here, right? So you can see you have this fill, which I had used here. You can fill it like this, and you can use this particular block. You can use stroke here. You can use rectangle from here, and ellipses also here. So for a change, let me pull the ellipse from here like this, okay? And you can also switch between blocks, show blocks, or do not show blocks, show just text for using this toggle button. Show text or show blocks, okay? So here we are creating an ellipse. Again, this ellipse has also got 4 parameters. Similar to rectangle, first and second positions are x and y coordinate of the center of the ellipse. In rectangle, my first and second coordinate were the coordinates of top left corner of the rectangle, not the center. But in ellipse, my x and y coordinates are the center. Okay. And this is the width and this is the length of my ellipse. Okay, so let's try to run this. For time being, I will comment this. And by the way, this is how you can comment the code in GameLab. 2 backslashes. Okay, so this will create an ellipse. Let's see it. Okay, this created an ellipse. with center at 200, 200. Center at 200, 200. Width 400 and height is also 400. Let me change the width to maybe 200. Reset and run it. See, so the width is now 200 and height is 400. We can again, change it just for experiment purpose, for your understanding purpose. Now, my width is 200 and my length is 300. Sounds good? Okay. Another thing, say for example, we have our rectangle as well here. And this time for ellipse, I want to give a different color. So I will have to rewrite this function fill. And maybe now this could be a blue one. Let's reset and run it. Okay, so you can see my rectangle is created behind and my ellipse is over it, so that it is actually covering it entirely. So whenever you are creating your drawings in GameLab, you will also have to take care about the sequences. Which figure you want to create first and which later on. Okay. So you can see this car. Yes. So using the rectangle and the ellipse function, we are now going to code our own car in GameLab. Okay. So first of all, let me remove all this code. I don't want it anymore now. Okay, fine. So as you can see in this figure, what we will have to do first, I need to create these four square blocks, one after another. And on top of that, these two squares. So these four squares, what will be the coordinate? Okay, what will be the coordinate? First, I need to figure out the coordinate. This is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here in this square, I want my first square to be created. You can point your mouse exactly here and you will be able to judge the topmost location. As you can see, it is 99, 250, but it is actually 100 and 250. Okay. So we can write to create a rectangle at 100 and 250 position. What will be the size? 50, 50. 50 length and 50 breadth. Let's see what it is coming. Yes, it is coming nice. But now what do I need? I need the color. So I will define the color of all these blocks to be red. Now onwards, whatever shape I create, that will be of red color. Okay. Next, my next square should be here. That is 150 and 250. 150 and 250. Let's reset and run it if it is at the right place or not. Yes, it is. Next should be here 200 and 250. So again, it is 200 and 250. Let's reset and run. Again, 250 and 250. So did you notice how I am actually checking the coordinates? I am putting my pointer here. This is the top corner of my square and I am checking it is 250 and 250. Right. Now I want two red squares to appear here. What is the location? What is this location? This is 150 and 200. So 150 and 200. Yes, this is right. And this location. This is 200 and 200. Okay, so we have the top of our car ready. What next? What next? Next, we want these wheels to appear. So for creating the wheels, we will use ellipse. Ellipse. We will use ellipse. Now, as I mentioned, for ellipse, the coordinates which we are mentioning here are the center of my ellipse. So if I want my car to be created somewhere, car wheel to be created somewhere here, my coordinate, the center position will be somewhere here. Okay, you are saying 170 and 299 is coming, but it is because, you know, the mouse pointer cannot be that precise. So it is actually 175 and 300. So I will say 175 and 300. And what will be the height and width? What will be the height and width? I want again this to be 50 and 50. Actually, this should be the position, center position, 150 and 300, not 175. 150 and 300 and 50, 50. Yes. Wheel has a pair, but we do not want it to be red. So what we will do, we will change the color to gray now. Right, this is good now. Again an ellipse, and this time my center will be this, which is 250 and 300. Let's run it and see if we have our car ready. Yes, we have our car ready in GameLab. And using these few commands and functions which I showed you in this video, you can actually create amazing drawings. Few of them are given here on the screen. A couple of my students have actually created these drawings using only these few commands which I demonstrate you in this video. To try them out and let me know if you are liking them or not. I hope you liked the exercises which we did today in this video. Please do subscribe and share this video with your friends. Thank you. See you in next video. Bye-bye.